Welcome back to episode 321 of the Guiding Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about guide guns and the responsible Christian gun owners' interest. On this week's show, we'll be talking about Iraqi Veteran 8888 Range Day number 2 for this year.
Number 2.
We'll thank our bandwidth sponsors, Primary Arms. I'm turning my radio down. It's all of a sudden somebody started talking. Primary Arms seeks to provide the best shopping experience for everything firearms with over 13,000 products, over 400 top brands. Primary Arms carries a complete selection of rifles, handguns, firearms, parts, shooting gear, apparel, and more. Every order comes with a commitment to superior service backed by fast shipping and an expert support team serving freedom since 2008. If you want to know more about Primary Arms, you can go to frn.deals, that's DEALS /PA, Papa Alpha. All right, Farms Radio Network. Hung out with several of the guys from Farms Radio Network over the weekend as well. We had Sean and who else? So we had Jeremy there. We saw Marty there. Left hand. Who else did we see there? It was I know there was some more. Shingo Moses. He was there. Also, Patriot Patch Company. Oh, if you haven't checked out other shows that Farms Radio Network, please do. We appreciate them putting our podcast out there and supporting the bandwidth out there for you guys to download at your convenience. Also, Patriot Patch Co. If you've not checked out checked out the patches over at Patriot Patch, they have some cool stuff. They had some A-Team stuff. They had all kinds of cool gear and shirts and hats, and they make patches for us as well. And I'm trying to dig through this. Say when I'm your Huckleberry and gun safety stickers, gun safety steel 10 things for your man cave. And I know there's more down here, and I'm digging. But if you go over to patriotpatch.co and check out all the things they got to offer over there.
Gun safety rules.
The best in precious metals. We got the Operator de Libra. Can't say it because she's green. She's made of copper. And that one's not appropriate. And this one... It's not that bad. Oh, here's what I like. I roll my own. Get it upside down.
There you go. There you
roll
go.
my own. Reload. All right. What you been up to this week with your guiding activities? Well, it's actually been 2 weeks because last week I was doing something on Thursday and couldn't make it. Then Friday we were on the road, and then Saturday and Sunday, of course, we were remote in Georgia. So we didn't record last week, but we'll try to make up for it this week. So what you been up to? Last 2 weeks, I guess it is.
2 weeks. So, man, it's been a fun-filled 2 weeks. Lots of cool stuff. Iraqi Vet 88 shoot, which we'll go into in a little bit this past weekend. I did get to take my future son-in-law as of next weekend. He will officially become my new son-in-law. He got to go with us on his first machine gun shoot, and he had a good time. He liked it, and he had never got to shoot anything full automatic like that, so he had a good time. Also, congratulations to my daughter Tara and her husband Matt. I am the proud new grandpa of grandchild number 7, another granddaughter. This is little McKinley was born on October 1st, and she was 6 pounds, 7 ounces, and she is doing good, and she has a head full of hair. It's like,
I saw the pictures.
I tell her she looks like a little chia pet. But she is doing good, and she is a sport model. She's a little bitty thing, but I told the girls, they kept saying that, how little she was, and I was like, well, you got to remember, when you guys were born, they were just about 3.5 pounds when they were born. So, she's about twice as big as they were.
Yeah.
But mama and baby are doing good. Let's see, man, I'm excited this Saturday. I haven't got to hardly do any deer hunting this year. I've been a couple times bow hunting, but Saturday I get to muzzleloader season comes in here in Georgia. So I had the Thompson Pro Hunter out 50 cal yesterday,
Oh yeah.
checking it out. Got it all scoped up. It is ready to go, and hopefully I'm going to put something down. And my hogs came back in last night, first time. We've had a lot of rain down here the last 2 or 3 days. Man, it's been pouring this week, and I guess it got the creeks high enough that it flooded out the swamp over by next to where I hunt, and it pushed the hogs out of the swamp so they get to some higher ground.
Oh yeah.
So I went out tonight and put 100 pounds of corn out just to give them a little enticement to come on back. So all goes well. Tomorrow afternoon I will be sitting in the stand putting down some swine.
Putting the wine on some swine.
I'm gonna put the wine on some swine.
Good deal. I got your stuff.
That's it for me, man. What you been up to?
Well, I'm a whole lot better than I was last week, and I'm
Yeah,
a
you
whole lot
are.
more better than the week before that. Got most of my voice back. My larynx and stuff was like just still clogged the last time I recorded. I was struggling to keep my voice, but I'm back. I think about 97%. I still get a little tickle of a cough every once in a while, but my oxygen is like 99 or 100%. So I'm all over that stuff as far as I'm aware of. It just takes a little while to get out of your system for some reason. I did the splits yesterday unintentionally, but
I saw that.
oh my, I'm sore today. My right leg, I looked down, and my foot was like way out there, like 4 feet away. I'm like, how did that happen? And I realized I'm hitting the ground as I'm seeing my leg go out there, and my left foot come back and kick the magazines out of my mag holder as it hit me in the belt. So that's how much folding that left leg did. I was looking at it and I was like, I wonder if it tore anything loose. And in order to get it straightened out, after I hit the ground, it was concrete with some leaves and some grass from a mowing that someone done, and rain, and then it was a little bit of like a concrete gets like a little sheen of
Right.
I don't know what you call it, not moss, but like before it becomes moss,
Mm-hmm.
and it was slick as snot, and I did the splits unintentionally, and then I slammed my head into the tire of the RV that was parked there and my shoulder, and so I went to the chiropractor this morning. He straightened all the wrinkles out and put things back where they're supposed to be at. But boy, I am sore. I tell you, not from the splits, but from my knee hitting the ground and removing about 6 inches of skin, and my foot coming back. I never in my life thought my left foot would kick the magazines out of my mag carrier as I went to the ground. But the chiropractor said, "Well, you didn't break anything. I don't think you tore anything." He said, "Good thing you're flexible enough. It didn't do anything other than just make you sore." But other than that, have been improving. Krista's much better. She's almost over it. She just gets a little cough every once in a while, like I've had, and she's still a little sore from all that coughing for 3 weeks or so. But we are much better. Thanks for all the prayers and concern, and we are all well. We're all way past being quarantined. just it takes a little bit out of you. I don't know how else to say it. Bible reading. We did not go to church because we were in Georgia, and we'll talk about that later, as we said a while ago. And what else? Online church we did do. Listen to that. To the pastors I usually listen to on Sundays. Guns. We'll talk about that in a minute. Carry concealed all the time as usual. And let's see. Ham radio. I've been doing a lot of ham radio. Trying to get that FTM 400 hooked up to the Surface Pro. I'm gonna take a drink. As I said, I still get a tickle every once in a while. May get a lot more I talk tonight. Um, I did get it in the truck, the Pro, and hooked up, and it was working. And the problem I have is it's not allowing me to transmit. When I go to transmit, it says error, and so I've tracked it down. It's update issue, but the issue I'm having is that it's not letting me update, and I don't know why it's not letting me update. Except for um, I'm thinking that the Wires X program that's already loaded on the machine is coming up and connecting with it before it can do its update. And I've turned off every setting I can think of to keep it from automatically reloading because Wires X, I took it out of the startup menu, and I'm getting into the woods here, but uh, I've been I've been working with this for about 3 days, 4 days now, and I'm almost at the point of frustration. But I haven't said a cuss word, and I haven't kicked the dog, so there's still hope. But it's a, it's
Well,
a matter
that's
of
good.
getting it to update the firmware. I need to update the firmware because I think I've got like a one version too old to connect to it. I've got all the right cables. I got all the right wires. I got all the right connectors. I got all the right software. It's just it's one of those things that makes you pull your hair out. That's been pretty much it for me carrying the Staccato C and the Crossbreed Super Tuck. And she is hot and she is locked back and ready to rock. And safety's on. My finger is not near the trigger. And I will put it back away safely. There's nobody in front of me. There's nobody actually in the whole house. I've got concrete here and over there. And so there's lots of places to backstop. What are you carrying tonight?
Oh, got the usual suspect Glock 19 with my student of the gun night vision sights on it, which I love
Good.
them, and tote that around. That's my everyday carry gun anyway. And
Yep.
also got my Spartan auto knife, which goes everywhere with me too. And you can tell by I don't know if you can see all the skint up
Mm-hmm. It's a
places
tool.
all over. It is a tool,
Yep.
and it goes everywhere I go.
Good deal.
So,
My knife is CRKT Fossil.
did you get a new? Is that a new one?
No, I've had it for a long time, but I was going through Tennessee and Georgia and North Carolina. I couldn't remember what the auto knife laws were in North Carolina and Tennessee, so I didn't take any chances. And I just carried a regular folder with me while I was down there. And I know all the concealed carry is good down through there, but I didn't know about the auto knife. Sometimes the knife laws get you in trouble if you don't watch where you're at. So
Yeah, you're pretty good down here. Hey,
I'm
I
in North
said,
Carolina. They're a little weird over there.
well, yeah, true. I was also going to say too, Saturday was a good day, man. We got to shoot machine guns all morning, and
Mm,
then I'm just going to throw this out there. I got to watch Kentucky beat Florida in football uh, Saturday afternoon, and that just made me happy, happy, happy.
it made
One,
my son happy. Tim, he's a big UK fan.
oh yeah, man. So I was having a great day Saturday. It was awesome.
Good deal. And grandbaby born, and
Oh
your
yeah.
birthday's coming up here pretty soon, isn't it?
What's that?
Your birthday's pretty soon, isn't it?
My birthday is next Saturday, actually,
All right.
and it happens to be opening day of rifle season in Georgia for deer hunting, and it also happens to be my daughter Taylor and Dylan are going to be getting married on the 17th, which is the day after, but the day before on my birthday. We all have to be in Rome, Georgia. That's where they're getting married at some little venue up there. So uh, they told me that I'll have plenty of time to
Go
to
ahead.
hunt during deer season, so not to worry. But I tried to tell them from the time they were kids, man, from the time they were little. I'm like, look, you got half of May because turkey season's in the first half of May, and then you got half of May at the end, June, July, and the first half of August, and then halfway through August, squirrel season comes in. So you got almost 4 months there. You can have kids, get married, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But nah, most of my grandkids are in November. Just about all of them, November and December, and one in January. And now I got a new one in October. So they didn't plan very well.
They want to know you love them more than hunting, Doug.
Yeah, they do. They do. And I do. Do anything in the world for them. Them granddaughters, man, they just got you wrapped around their finger.
Got a joke for us tonight, do you?
I too got a little joke. I don't think I've told this one because I don't remember hearing it. One day, a little girl was sitting watching her mother do the dishes in the kitchen. She suddenly noticed that her mom has several strands of white hair sticking out of the contrast of her brunette hair. She looks at her mother and inquisitively asked, "Why are some of your hairs white, Mom?" Her mother replied, "Well, every time you do something wrong and make me cry or unhappy, one of my hairs turns white." The little girl thought about it for a few minutes, and then just a while later, she goes, "Mama, how come all of Grandma's hair are white?"
Smart cookie, wouldn't you?
Payback. Paybacks.
Good deal. Christopher, we're glad to have you tonight.
Yeah.
Rick's out there tonight. Steve Smith's out there tonight.
Hey, Steve.
See a whole bunch of people. Eric's out there.
Eric is. We got
really get Eric on here. We need to have Eric back on and talk about some Bulwarks classes. He got a full schedule coming up.
I know. I need to get him to come back down here. I get people all the time ask me, "When you guys go do another training class? When you go do another training class?" I get one scheduled, and you can't hardly get nobody to do it.
Yeah, a lot of people won't put their money where their mouth is. That's for sure.
No.
But if you take that money and invest it in like the Bulwarks classes, you'll learn a lot, and then you'll be able to practice properly instead of wasting ammunition on paper, standing in static targets and shooting at little bullseyes. You actually get some of their targets and you practice properly, and then you'll be able to hit the target under stress and all those cool things.
So, point later.
Bulwarks plug here.
Which I still
need to have Eric back on and talk about the upcoming classes. That carbine class is coming back up. It's a new and enhanced now. Added some stuff to it. And we got BAM coming up third weekend. It's for the alumni. So coming up. You gonna come up?
When is it?
It's 23rd, 4th, I think.
Of October?
Yep. Gunner and I are planning to go, barring the unforeseen, but you got a communist dictator governor. It's hard to know what's going to happen around here. Let's see. It is going to be on Eric's birthday. How about that? October the 23rd and 24th. Yep. You'll be in a blind somewhere, I'm sure.
Probably.
You have to make the trip sometime.
I know. I do need to. I need to get the boys back down here.
Yep. Yep. See, on this day in history, you've got us interesting factoid.
I do got a little fact of this day in history. American short story writer, poet, and critic Edgar Allan Poe died in Baltimore, Maryland.
Thump, thump, thump.
I thought that was kind of an intriguing little fact.
Thump, 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 thump.
It was
heart.
It was also when really the war against the Taliban in Afghanistan started also. But I thought I'd throw that one out there. I didn't put it in as this day in history because it kind of ticks me off.
Gotcha.
The way they did that.
The way it ended. Hey, if you haven't yet, please like and share.
Indeed.
Click that button wherever you're at, on whatever it is you're on, and click that. We would appreciate it. Bible verse.
Hey, before you do the Bible verse.
Yeah.
So on the YouTube side, I told everybody over there also go like and share. And not last week, but the week before we did the show, we had a bunch of likes on the YouTube side.
Oh yeah,
And of course, Troy had said something bad, or
that was on Facebook.
that was on Facebook. So we couldn't broadcast on Facebook last week when we did it. So we were still he was still in Facebook jail over on that side. So we
30
couldn't.
day jail sentence.
I know. Just talking about a strafing run. I don't
Yeah.
understand. But on the
Carpet,
YouTube
carpet
side,
bomb.
carpet bombing. There you go. We
It was
on the YouTube
Taliban.
side, we had a bunch of likes over there,
Yep.
and you texted me and you're like, "Hey, look at the YouTube thing or the YouTube channel, and look at our likes going down." And when I got on there, we had like 5 left, and then I refreshed, it went down to 1, and then I refreshed again, and we had 0.
Yep.
They were taking the likes away from
Live.
from our live. Yeah, well, yeah, live while we were sitting there watching. And I'm like, I can't believe this.
Yep. Well, when you're a juvenile kind of a mentality, and that's sort of the way things happen. You do really petty, silly stuff that makes you look small and ineffectual. But I wouldn't say anything about people like
No,
not
no,
that I would comment on
Ooh.
such people. But good evening, John.
And thank you, John.
John is a good feller. He's all the time out there encouraging and promoting, and I need to get your address again if I don't have it. You won some of them hats. I need to get a hat and some stuff out of here. And you got a couple more. I need to get those emails. I have been behind the times. I hauled the steer to the butcher on Tuesday. I got him. So here's how I'll say this before we get in the Bible verses. Sunday night, I'm thinking, man, I don't look forward to getting that steer because that dude's like 1,250, 1,300 pounds. I kept telling Mom it was her steer. We done butchered ours back when he was about 950,000 pounds. It's still pretty good size.
Yeah,
Said, you need to sell him, or you need to decide if you're going to eat him. If you're going to eat him, you need to get him butchered. So time goes by, reminder again, and then this last like 2 weeks ago, I said, "All right, I'm taking him to the market because he's getting too big." And she said, "No, I want him. I want him." I said, "Well, go find." I said, "Find you a butcher." She said, "Who'd you get?" I said, "He's booked up for like 9 months. You got to get on a list." I said, "This dude's gonna be huge. Nobody's gonna want to take him." And she said, "Well, I'll find a butcher." Well, she calls back 2 days later. Somebody out in Caneyville, so that's an hour from here. She found, and I never heard of him before or anything. So Sunday night, I'm thinking, man, getting that steer separated from those cattle and calves are going to be hard. And so I say a prayer, Lord, help help them to be up in the upper pasture, so I don't have to go chase them up, try to get them up there. So Monday afternoon, I went out there and they were up in the barn lot. So I closed them all the way up in the barn lot. They had plenty of grass in there, and till the next morning. And I thought, well, that night, Monday night, I was thinking, Lord, help that steer to be set in the middle of that corral that I've got built out there. And I got over there Tuesday morning, and that steer was sitting right in the middle of that corral.
right where you needed to be.
And I told Gunner, I said, go close the gate on the back, and I'll try to get up and close the gate on the front. Well, he went and closed the gate on the back, and the cattle come running out. The cows come running out. And they came running out the head chute, out the way I'm going to ram into the trailer. And the calves and the steers stayed in there. And so he's a big old boy. Now he's pretty defensive around those calves. He's like a guard dog around those calves. He don't want to let nobody around him. And so I walked in the corral with a big stick, and and I encouraged the calves to go on out and gonna let them out the gate. It was just me and the steer in there. Well, I backed back out and left him in there, backed the trailer right up to the door, and I'm thinking, man, he's already getting worked up. He went around, he was banging into the panels and stuff, just moving around like they weren't there. And we opened up the trailer, got the trailer one door open, and the inner door's loose, ready to go, so we could close him up in there. Backed up to the gate. He comes running. We open that inner gate, runs up in the back of that trailer. I didn't even have to go in the corral with him. I thought I was going to have to go in there and drive him up that lane into the chute, into the into the trailer. He runs right in there, runs all the way to the front end of the trailer. I push the door, the inner door gate over, and Gunner shuts it up. And he turns around like, "Oh man, I got caught." I was like,
Messed up.
"Thank you." I said, "Thank you, Lord," because we didn't have to yell, or holler, or run for the hills or anything. He just ran right in there, and then he realized he was locked in. And he started shaking that trailer. I mean, he was beating that trailer all to pieces. Well, I pulled up and closed the outer doors up, locked them up, and my neighbor Lloyd, he went with us and drove out there. And we got there, and he wouldn't have none of it. He went, and then the butcher's like, "I'm not letting him in there. He'll tear up my whole building." And so they got him out without any trouble. And that's all we're gonna say about that, because Krista the girl would have a problem. All right, so Bible verses for the night. We're gonna be in. Wait a second. I have a prop. Let me put that over here. There we go. We're in Proverbs 6, reading verses 14 down through 19, and for some reason it's showing stuff it's not supposed to be showing. Let's see here. What's that up there? Let's close that. There we go. So, with a perverted heart, devises evil, continually sowing discord. Therefore, the calamity will come upon him suddenly. In a moment, he will be broken beyond healing. There are 6 things that the Lord hates. 7 that are abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed blood, shed innocent blood, heart devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies, and one who sows discord among brothers. And why are you reading this, Troy? Well, let me tell you. If you look at TV, if you look at the media, if you look at anybody that's out there pushing certain things, uh, I would say we're talking about a whole lot of people right now fall into this scenario whereby they are getting ready to take a hard fall. Uh, if we were to believe the Bible says that God will judge, and God will right every wrong, and He will avenge every uh, harm that is done upon His people. Then these people are looking at some hard time in a hot place. So be of courage. Don't be worried. Stand for what is right and true, and talk about what is good and lovely and holy and righteous and worth honor, and condemn evil, call out liars, even if you get put in jail like I did for 30 days in Facebook jail or literal jail. We're to stand for truth. We're to stand in faith, and we're to stand in love. And we pray for those who are lost in their sin, lost in being deceived by the god of this world, the devil, and being propped up by evil people. But be of good courage. God, Jesus has already won. The battle's already over with. The devil's just trying to take all he can with him. So pray for those who are lost. Share the gospel with them. Love them in their sin, because somebody loved you in your sin and shared the gospel with you before you were saved. And our hope is that many people can be saved out of that lost group. Pray for them. Our prayers are powerful, people. You need to be spending lots of time in prayer right now. Pray all day. Pray for people who are lost. Pray for all these people who are sick with COVID. Pray for these people who are hating you and despising you, because maybe God will have compassion, and the Holy Spirit will convict them of their need, and they will hear the gospel, and they will believe. And that's our hope, and our hope for those who are lost. I have family members and extended family members who are totally lost, don't want to hear the gospel, and hate everything that I stand for. And so, but we love them. We pray for them. We pray that they will find salvation. If not through us, there's through someone else. That God has many hands to share the gospel, many people to speak the gospel, and that they could be saved. So that's our hope. That's our prayer that we pray often. So encourage you not to get discouraged. The people that look really big are not very many. They want you to think there's a lot of them, but there's not.
Mm-mm.
But they're in the media and they're in powerful positions in government, and so that's why it appears that they are so many of them. But in reality, there's not that many. If you look at people across the country, play everywhere I go, people are mostly good. People are mostly caring, compassionate, loving, and God-fearing people, especially in the South. I mean, everywhere I went, there was all kinds of encouraging signs of faith and freedom. And I didn't see one mask anywhere in Tennessee or Georgia that I can remember. There were some people down there in the lobby. I think they had to wear them that were working there. Some of the
Yeah.
restaurants seemed like they had to wear them. But as far as normal people in the elevators and stuff, I didn't see that.
Nah.
I take it back. I think there were some people visiting from up north somewhere. But I mean, we love them, and I don't wish any harm on anyone. And I don't, I've told y'all what I think about COVID, and I'm done talking about it. It's a real disease. It was created by really evil people, and they need to be prosecuted and incarcerated or worse for their crimes against humanity. All right, let's talk about something fun. Iraqi veteran 8888 shoot down in, it's actually range day down in Martin, Georgia. Well, we can't
Ooh,
really see where we can. It's down
we
there in
can't.
Georgia, the
We can't. We can
northeast
now.
corner of, northeast corner of Georgia. An undisclosed location. But we had a good time. I know that being your future son-in-law's first time, that he probably got to see a lot of things that stood out to him.
He did.
Tell me about y'all's experience.
Uh, so it was a little bonding time for me and the son-in-law. Not that we needed, but I don't know that he and I have ever went anywhere, for an overnight trip like that.
Yeah.
But we did have a good time. He like I said, he had never fired anything full automatic like that before.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he'd never seen that many guns in one location that you could just
Being fired at the same time.
yeah. It was like, hey, can I shoot this one? Yeah, here's a mag. Go for it. Have a good time. So, um, so what I do, I indoctrinated him into my world big right off the get go. We went down and jumped on the CMMG mutant
Right off the bat.
right off the bat.
Put him right on the fire hose right at the beginning.
Yeah, I told him, I said, all right, here's the deal. I said, I'll shoot first. You watch. And I said, it's pretty simple. And he's around me. He knows about guns from just being around me and stuff.
Yeah.
But I said, when you shoot, I said, if it starts raising up on you, I said, just take your finger off the trigger and readjust and let her go again.
Yep.
And he did. He shot a couple bursts with it, but he got to hang. He's like, it wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. Which that gun is really not. It's actually very manageable.
Yeah.
And
they got a good brake on it or something that's
yeah,
it down that keeps it pretty level.
Yep. So from that point on, he didn't have no problem with anything else after he'd already shot that one, because it was probably, I don't know, what do you think, Troy? I would venture say it's probably the loudest, most obnoxious gun on the line.
Yeah, it shuts everybody's electronic hearing protection down.
Yes.
I mean, you be talking and all of a sudden that goes on and everybody just stops talking because you can't hear anything until that mag dump's over with.
Yeah. So
and then you talk again for about 20, 30 seconds and then it goes.
Yeah, they don't tarry long. He did get lucky though, because he got a barrel upper they got dropped on it that came out of the water cooler, because
see.
they'll drop it down in the water, cool it off, and then run again. And so he got a cooled off version when he got to play. But the rest of the way down the line, everything else was pretty simple, easy, and he got the hang of it. So he got to shoot some cool stuff, and he got to see our world just a little bit of what we enjoy doing, and I think he liked it. He's ready to go back again now. So
Yeah, it's good. It's just sort of like coming home, kind of a time with all your friends. You get to sit down and talk. We got to set our tent up again, and we brought more chairs this time and
yeah,
a table. And so we'll sit there, and Doug and I and Gunner and, and Dylan this last time, and people we know will come by and start talking and sit down with us and hang out for a while during the breaks and during the lunch, and just you got to have rest periods because everybody gets sick of hearing that gun going off, that music going off all the time. At first it's cool, and then after like 2 hours it's like, I wish they'd shut that thing down for a little while because it just really gets on you, gets you irritated. But I love it. I mean, I love it. The gun is awesome. I mean, it's just a barrel of monkeys, a lot of fun. But as far as the loudest gun over there, I think, was that they had an anti-aircraft gun that not very many people got to shoot.
yeah.
Excuse me. It was a much louder, and but it wasn't very often. But it was. I mean, it shook the whole camp. And then the Tannerite.
Oh man!
During the suppressor time, they were shooting Tannerite. I'm like, you sort of defeat the purpose of quiet time with the suppressors if you're shooting Tannerite. And then we had somebody down there had a suppressor that was completely carbonated because it was not suppressed at all. I mean,
It was blown out.
that can had either all the baffles are blown out or it was completely packed with unburnt powder or something because it was loud. But there were some new vendors there that was there this year that I haven't seen before. There were some vendors that we used to see that weren't there this year. I would say it was down probably 30% from normal. Would you say about that?
Yeah, pretty close. Yep.
Because COVID, took some people out. One of the guys that was always there passed away this week. So it was sad that he wasn't there. The range day was dedication in his honor, and it was from
Fostech.
huh?
Fostech.
Fostech owner Fostech. Yeah, president. He passed away this last week. So that the whole range day was dedicated to him, and they blew up lots of stuff in his honor. But it was a lot of fun. That they blew up whole hay round bales of hay just with Tannerite. It wasn't there anymore. Just pieces of hay scattered, pumpkins, pumpkin smashing, and
Yeah, I love the way they put the fall theme in it by putting the pumpkins out there full of Tannerite. You hit one of them just right. And, you could shoot it a couple times and you didn't know exactly where the Tannerite was in it. People were shooting it and they'd not go off, and then you're out there, and when you least expect it, you put a round in it and it blows up and it blows pumpkin all over the range. It was cool.
There was one that blew up and it came all the way up to the line.
Yeah.
It was. I thought it was going to start hitting people. It come right up to the line. That's a big range. It's a lot of fun. But what was the thing that you saw there that you would like to had come home with?
That I would like to have?
One thing that you probably are going to buy or would like to have had, to bring home with you.
There's
other than the mutant, of course.
There's two or three. Yeah, you're not gonna get the mutant, but now talking to Adam with Century.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. He may be sending me a demo and do some videos with, which I love that gun. It's the AP5.
Yeah.
The MP5 clone.
Yeah.
And man, it just doesn't do full automatic on that one. But that thing is so nice, 9mm, and I want one. I wanted one so bad. I was actually down at a gun show in Panama City when me and Wendy were down there last year, and they had one, and I almost bought it then and had them ship it, up here to my gun dealer up here. Had a pretty good deal on it, but um, Adam, I think he's going to send me one up to do a video with and some stuff. So maybe I can get the used price later. But that
Yeah.
was cool, and I really want. I was talking to the guys at AccuFire, and I really would like to get one, and he may be sending me one too, for a demo and to try out. It's a clamp. They make a clamp on thermal
Right.
that co-witnesses to your scope on your gun.
Right.
So you just set it out on your rail out in front of the scope. You look through your optic, the whole 9 yards, but it turns it into thermal, and you know you rock on. I shot it. The last time we was up there, I actually took that thing and I put it on 3 different guns, moved it, that were
Right.
sitting there that had scopes on them, and not one of them was off target. I was shooting with the scope, and I was hitting steel at 100 yards and didn't have any problem with it. So I would really like to get one of those also.
Deal.
Now, AGM was there, and they had a bunch of thermal stuff, which was really cool. And I have a FLIR handheld that I scan with, and they had a couple handhelds there. Now mine's fairly old. I think my resolution is like 160 on the resolution on it, and they have some handhelds there now that they were selling that were like 300, 384 by whatever. But man, them things were clear for scanning. But the price point wasn't horrible. I think $800 I think would get you into one of them. So I don't know. There was a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah. Yeah. I looked at a lot of stuff, and then I realized I got a lot of stuff already at home. A lot of things I'd like to add. I did get to shoot the Medi, the Canic, the new one with
Yep.
the optic ready, and
Yep.
we're supposed to have a really phenomenal trigger. And I went out and shot the plates with it, and I didn't miss anything. I just ding, 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 rang the plates and went out to the long range target, steel targets, and rang the bells out there. And it was a phenomenally great shooting gun. Very controllable. It didn't have any snap to it all. Of course, it was a longer barrel. It was like a competition gun with that really light trigger and that long
Right.
slide and all. But it was a fun gun to shoot. But I shot. I knew I was going to forget this guy's name, not the company's name. There's a company there that made a. They make magazines for. They make an adapter follower for like the AR mags to convert them over to 9mm.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a bolt. It's not ready for market yet that they're working on, but they let us try it out. It's a 9mm bolt that you can drop in an AR upper, and it uses the same spring as a regular AR, but it's designed like the HK rolling plug. How it locks up, and so it doesn't have as much recoil because it's delayed reaction. Those lugs have to release, and those rollers roll it back slower and catch the next round. So it is very controllable, very light recoil, very flat shooting. So when you shoot, it's coming back like the HK MP5s, the HK91s, HK93s. All have that locking roller bolt, and so you
Mm-hmm.
can adjust the tension based up. So if you're shooting 115 grain, or you're shooting 124 grain, or 147 grain, you can adjust the tension by switching out the little rollers in it. So the delay is a little bit more or less based upon your round, so that you get the best, flattest, controllable shooting. And it was very noticeable. They give you first a regular AR-15 style bolt uh, for that 9mm, and you can feel you sort of feel it hit your shoulder. And with that HK sort of bolt, I guess it's the patents have been long out on that, but it was really smooth, really easy to handle, control. very enjoyable to shoot. So I thought that was a pretty neat, unique product. They said they would probably be sending us out one of those whenever they get them approved and in production. So they said some maybe late November, early December. So they were waiting on approval for that to be able to release it to the market. And then there was oh gosh, uh, I'll think of it here in a second. We'll talk about some other stuff. We didn't get to see Hitchcock this weekend. We usually get to see Hitchcock, and we did get to see 22 Plankster. He came and
Yeah.
hang out with us for a while, and got to see Marty. He came and hung out with us quite a bit, and I got to see Dietrich from the Skinny Medic. He got there Sunday, so I got to talk to him a little while. He'll be coming on a show in a future episode. As soon as we get some stuff sorted out, get our schedule lined out with several other people we talked to about coming on the show as well while we were there. And
Yep.
let's see, got to talk to Eric for a while. Went by and saw um, Brandy and thanked her. I did not get to see Chris before we left. I always like to talk to Chris, the guy that owns the range,
Yep.
and thank him for that. But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed getting to hang out with you and Dylan, and got to hang out with Gunner for the weekend. And it's always sort of a bonding time for me and Gunner. And Gunner loves to shoot full auto. you think
Yeah,
think
he
they
does.
would let him shoot full auto? Man, he was on top of it. He usually goes over and breaks those clays with a tip and arms. Full auto 22s. Those are a blast.
I did that. I love that thing. And
Yeah,
I actually hit one on my second mag. I had to wait until one of the clay pigeons hit the ground, and then I shot at it laying on the ground to see where the rounds were hitting,
yeah. Just
and
under.
it was just under it.
You should
And
just about an inch and a half or underneath of it if you want to hit.
yep. So the next one that they threw, I busted it after I saw where I was hitting with the
Yep.
with the little red dot. It's tough shooting it like that, man. When you don't know where the optic is sighted in at,
Yeah.
and you're trying to hit a clay pigeon flying through the air with a 22 full automatic with a
Yeah.
suppressor on it.
I'm surprised that they keep those things running so smooth because 22 is a nasty, nasty ammunition. I mean, it really fouls things up, and to keep those automatics running all day long for 2 days in a row, it is amazing. I never
Yeah.
saw one jam. Did you?
Nope.
I never saw one jam at all. I never saw one fail to fire. I mean, I'm sure it probably happens, but I just never ever. And I saw a gunner go through 20 mags. What was it, 2 years ago? He
Yeah.
just kept on taking mag. He's like, "Give me another mag." He's like, "Okay, give me another mag." he was going. He was going to hit it. And he finally did. He started hitting him.
Yeah, he did. He Gunner was videoing when we were shooting, and it was a lot of fun. I like that thing. It's pretty cool. But I did get to play with the AP5. I was in there with Adam shooting that thing, and they had a dueling tree that was right out in front, and all the plates were on one side, and I just went up that thing. It's like, and it was just sending them, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I want one of these so bad. Do I need it? No, but I want one.
That's the thing about pistol caliber carbines. I like the thought of it, but outside of being a plinker, I wouldn't carry it because
Oh, I
if I'm
would.
going to carry that big of a gun, I want a rifle cartridge. I want some killing power. If you're going to have to pack something that big, I want to be able to reach out and get something. I just don't think a 9mm. I mean, I know it's it can, if you properly place a shot, you can take anything. I mean, I saw that with a 22 that took down something huge this week, but as a matter of stopping the threat, if I'm carrying something that's the size of a carbine, then I want carbine power. You know what I'm saying? So
I like the fact that it would make a nice backpack gun.
yeah, but if you're backpacking in bear country in 9mm, you want more.
Oh, yeah. I'm just talking about Walmart and stuff.
You backpacking in Walmart.
Sometimes.
That's a good way to get searched.
Eh, Sometimes, but I go a lot of places. Got my backpack in the truck, and I'll carry it with me to different places, doing different stuff. And yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
I carried the Keltec Sub 2000 in it forever.
Mine's in the safe. I need to do something with that thing. It just doesn't get any use. I thought about giving it to Daphne and for her to keep it in her car, but she's already packing 2 pistols, so I guess she doesn't need a carbine. Well, you might need a carbine if she had the end of the world scenario and had to walk home.
I can't. There was somebody else that I can't remember what table it was on, but they had a 1911 in 10 millimeter,
Yeah.
and I was shooting it, and man, I like that thing.
Yeah, I've wanted a 1911 10 millimeter, and I wanted a pistol caliber carbine. Falcor said that they was going to send me one, but they built them for a little while and then they quit, and then I could never find one, and then they forgot that they told me they were going to send me one. I loved to look at that. They had a demo at Shot Show. I guess it was about 2 or 3 years ago. I guess it was pre-19 because we were in Virginia in 19. So COVID took us out last year, and the Virginia thing took us out in 19. So I guess it was 2018 that they had there. Well, we better get rolling on here. We got Arm Citizen yet. So, once again, thank you, Primary Arms. If you guys have not checked out them, please do. And we've also got stickers that look like this, but you can't find them on Instagram. You can't find them on Facebook because they kicked our store up. So, you have to go to Shopify, which I'll have to put in show notes, which you can find on Farms Radio Network, or you can find on our website maybe this week if I get it posted up. And let's see what else we got here. We have a Subscribe Star account at the request of several of our former Patreon people. Went over to Subscribe Star. So Subscribe Star altogether.com/God dash and dash guns. And you can give different levels of patronage. I went back and Patreon's still holding money from like 3 years ago. They still haven't released it to us.
What?
Yep. And they say I've got to fill out some kind of forms and I've got to be approved to get released the money that they owe us because we violated their principles or some kind of weird stuff. You got the next two, then we got Armed Citizen of the Week.
Hey, the first one is PowerTac lights. You've heard Troy. Now, if you're looking for a good light for just a flashlight for everyday use, you're looking for a weapons light or just a headlamp for being out in the woods hunting. PowerTac makes a light. They got some really good sales going right now, so I would say go out and check them out at powertac.com. And if you find one of theirs on sale and it's a 50%, by all means get it. If you find one you like that's not on sale, you can use the promo code GodGuns, and they will give you 40% off for just using that promo code, which is a really good deal. Also, Crossbreed holsters. If you are carrying a gun in your vehicle on your person, or if your wife has one in her purse, or you want one next to the bed, Crossbreed makes a holster for it for just about any gun you want to carry. Go check our buddies out at crossbreedholsters.com. Use the promo code over there, GNG, and you will get 10% off over there for listening to the show too. And we appreciate them hooking you guys up, and you guys are buying holsters through them because I get emails every once in a while where somebody got a new holster and send me pictures of it with their gun in it. So keep helping those guys out, the guys that support us, and we support them. So go check them out, crossbreedholsters.com.
Yeah, speaking of Crossbreed, they sent me a care package because
They did.
Dad passed, and we were going through such a rough little patch there, and
With the
we really
Rona.
appreciate it. Their family, they were concerned, sent a nice card, and everybody I think works there seemed like signed it. I mean, it's got dozens of signatures on it, and they sent over some shirts and all their little different stuff that they had. So that was pretty cool. We appreciate everything Crossbreed does for us, and send them some love. They're good people over there. All right, this week's Armed Citizen, Doug. What we got going?
This week's NRA Armed Citizen comes to us from Newport Beach, California. A resident and surrounding neighbors of a Newport Beach, California neighborhood were rudely awakened by the sound of a banging on August 26th of 2021. The resident reported hearing extreme banging and the sound of a man swearing around 4:15 a.m. Early that Thursday morning. A man was seen walking around the resident's home by a neighbor. The stranger doing so for about 20 minutes before walking to the front door. Once at the front door, the intruder broke down the front door and entered the home. Inside, the intruder came across the resident, who was armed. The resident then shot the intruder. The sound of the shot was heard by the neighbors and police, who were responding to the reports of the disturbance. Inside the broken-in home, Newport police found the chaotic intruder deceased from his wounds. Police indicated that they believe the intruder could have been intoxicated or suffering from mental health issues. And that comes to us from SACBEE.com, Sacramento, California.
Sacramento Bee.
Can they have guns in California?
Yep. They have to be approved by some kind of board. Then manufacturers have to submit 5 guns for testing, and they pretty much try to make them do something that causes them to fail. If they pass that, then they give them approval to be sold in California. But a lot of companies I know just don't even waste their time submitting them, because they pretty much try not to make sure nothing gets approved.
Right.
Yeah, they can have guns. We had a person I know had a friend who lives in California who was wanting to get a particular Kimber. I don't remember what was special about it, but it was a particular model of a Kimber, which all Kimber 1911s are pretty much the same. Some of them just have different finishes, different grips, different lasers or whatever, but they're pretty much the same gun. Well, apparently the version of the 1911 Kimber he had his friend buy and had it shipped out there to his dealer. The dealer couldn't take it because it wasn't a model that was acceptable to California.
The California approved edition.
It's a 7 or 8 round, 8-round 1911 45 ACP, but that version of the 1911 ACP was not acceptable to California, so he couldn't accept it. He had to ship it back to the dealer back here in Kentucky. That's the most ridiculous thing. Certain models of Kimbers were acceptable, but this one wasn't, because it was different. Maybe it was too dark.
It was bad. It was bad.
So I guess every single version of the Kimber line had to be submitted, not just the 1911 to cover all. I don't know how that works out somewhere. Maybe you guys can explain that to me, but I'm sure it's anything to try to mess people over. Well, we better wrap this puppy up. We're rolling into the next hour here. Send your feedback to Troy at GuidingGunsPodcast.com.
Or Doug at GuidingGunsPodcast.com.
Please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/GuidingGunsPodcast. Click that like right now if you haven't yet. And click share if you don't mind doing that. They really help us out. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And click that little notification bell so you get notified anytime we go live or anytime we post something over there. Or like tonight, we have a regular scheduled show. You can search for us on Instagram. We don't have a catalog over there anymore. They've taken that down. We have a Webcam page. We have a Guiding Guns Webcam page, personal page. We have a Rumble, and I've got to figure out what's going on there because my videos are not uploading over there. You can find us over on MeWe, and Doug and I have made a commitment that we're going to try to figure out what's going on with get the podcast, GuidingGunsPodcast.com site up and going.
I'm going to turn it on tomorrow.
Good deal. Until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bibles closer.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate all the support and love and good comments and even the bad ones.
We do. Good night, everybody.